It's Sue Greenwald here with Awakened Stories. I'm here again with King Smarty. Hey, King Smarty, how are you?
I'm fantastic. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great.
Yep.
So, what new and exciting things have happened since yesterday?
Besides everybody being exposed for what they are,
Yeah,
there's so many exciting things happening.
awesome.
But anyway, we're going to do Q&A. So let's get
Okay,
started.
all right. The big one I got was what we, the regular people, can do to help North Carolina. Like everyone's seeing what's going on and we all want to help in some way. What can you recommend that we do?
Well, you can always send your love and light and energies and commands to the area because
Okay.
that's us little small group of individuals is powerful enough to make changes and enforce things to be cleaned up. And I mean, we do it all the time. So that's literally all you have to do right now, unless you want to participate and donate to some of the things that are already ongoing over there. Just make sure you research and donate to the right people, like I did. You know what I mean? You can't just
Right,
donate to anybody.
right. Yeah. Many of these large, charitable organizations are money laundering. They've got their own agendas and we know who they are. So a lot of time it's local ministries, local churches, or other organizations. So use discernment.
Yeah, I mean, there's everyday folks that are more in tune with helping people than these so-called establishments. So yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
if you find somebody in the area who's actually doing something, empower that person.
Right. Right.
Send the donations to that individual
Yeah.
because if you actually see the individual doing something, then you empower that person.
Right.
We can't go off of word of mouth no more. In some cases, unless you have abilities to know that somebody's telling the truth or somebody's actually doing what they're saying they're doing,
Right.
or if you have insight that the person will do what they say they're going to do, like we do. So
Right.
if you want to be hands on, go help the people that are hands on.
Yeah. I noticed some people are collecting clothes and supplies to take up there. So, those people have basically lost everything. And right now, necessities are important: water, food, clothes. And like you had mentioned, insulated tents, like it's going to be cold there. It
Right,
probably is at night already. And yeah.
right.
So, yeah. All right. So I'm just going to burn through all the questions. These are mostly from the past day. What is the difference between special agents that you've just released and the assassins?
Um, the special agents are to make sure that the assassins don't get you, or should I say, their assassins don't mess with you or get you.
Okay.
So they're more of a protective defensive squad.
Oh, okay. Because I have gotten lots of messages in the past day or so, a lot of attacks recently, the past week or so, the attacks have amped up,
Yeah,
right? So what you're saying is then the special agents are protective for the Jedis and other important people that we're protecting.
yeah, including some of the children. Yes,
Okay. Where the assassins are more on the offensive, going against the dark forces.
yeah. That's exactly what they were doing. The assassins are continuing to eliminate the dark forces. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
um, um, and y'all know that when I say certain things, that's because it's already happened. So we've already eliminated them all.
Okay.
They just don't know it yet.
Okay. Okay. So roughly, I'm just going to say a week ago because I don't have a sense of time anymore. You had put out a post that said basically when this is wrapped up, it's going to be about 10 days. You had gotten a call about the DOD, blah, blah, blah. And I can actually read the post if that's more helpful. But you said basically the cabal is finished. So like, where are we on all of those points? And like I said, I'm glad to read that if that's helpful.
You don't have to read it. I know what I said.
Okay.
Today, look for the RV today.
Well, you can't just say it like that. What? I'm starting to sweat now. Okay.
Well, they, they were see the I don't understand why they keep trying to negotiate with Israel, and that's what's being said.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, so what ended up happening is they went elsewhere and did things elsewhere, and look for the RV today.
Okay. So you're going to say it's going to start trickling out to the general population,
Yes,
and we're going to see evidence of that starting today.
yes, and it's still early, by the way. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
there's signs everywhere.
we could have maybe started the video with that point, just saying.
Right.
I am literally sweating like right now, like, oh my God, oh my God. Okay.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Well, when the Iraq and the Kuwait thing happened, it happened overnight as well. And if you don't know the story, or what happened and why certain people in the government and cabal made money, it's because when the war with Iraq and Kuwait was going on, a lot of the soldiers and CIA and different groups went in there into Kuwait and took their money because their money was devalued for that time period of the battling, right?
right, right.
So what ended up happening is they go in, they steal up all this money, and since the money was devalued, they put the money in their in their catacombs, in their storages, in their trucks or whatnot. Um, and then they quickly wrapped up the war. So once the war was wrapped up, Kuwait then reestablished their currency. So when their currency was devalued, they stole the money, took the money. When it revalued, they brought the money back and became trillionaires, millionaires, billionaires overnight, right? And nobody knew a fucking thing because this is what they were. This is what they do. This is what they used to do, right? Um, that being said, it's literally happening right now as we speak. Iraq is being reinstated, and you will have billionaires, trillionaires, millionaires overnight without everybody else knowing. They didn't want people to know this shit. So that's what's happening.
Wow. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. I had talked to a soldier around that time who had physically seen like storehouses of cash in all the different denominations, including the US dollar. Okay.
Right,
At
right.
that time. So what you said is true. He said that he saw, like gobs of every kind of money just being stockpiled. And
Yeah.
they also, I think, what for artifacts at that point, at the museums, they were looking for occult kind of artifacts and all that. And that's, I think, what their real objective was. They use all sorts of things to cover what their objectives are with that war. So
Yeah, yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, they were looking for the space technology, the portals, all types of stuff. There's parts around the world that actually have portals that are natural, and when you go in them, it's literally like going into Wakanda. You
Yeah,
remember the movie where you go into.
yeah,
So there's real places like that all around the world, and that's why certain places around the world are constantly under attack. You know, you got genocide here, you got stuff happening here, you got the Congo stuff happening. There's a lot of valuable stuff there, and a lot of it is buried. So
Interesting.
they more so went for ancient artifacts and historical assets and stuff like that. This is literally what they use to keep themselves in power, which is why we have all the assets now. And they can't get to it unless they pay for it or somebody pays for it. There won't be no stealing our assets. There won't be no murdering us. There won't be none of that. And that's why it's in the hands of the people. Well, that's why it's in our hands. So, in order for you to even get to the assets, you have to be of like-minded and you have to be chosen by dad. Otherwise, you can have all the money in the world and you ain't gonna get shit.
Okay. And so I guess a lot of the bad guys don't get that point yet. They still think they're gonna get the money or whatever. And they haven't gotten the memo on that.
Oh, they got the memo, all right.
All right. All right. So the part where we talk about the cabal being finished, I know that has been in process for a long time, but is there anything we need to worry about from them any further than?
No, just everybody continue to broadcast love and light to them and the victims.
Right.
I mean, in a sense, we're all victims, right? Because we've been bamboozled, we've been persecuted, we've been um, dried, if you would. They sucked us. Literally sucked us dry. So,
Right.
and that's those of you guys that actually fell for the shit. Because I operate differently. I don't operate in their field. So dad kept me away from certain things, and it was all because of that. So he's kept me away from a lot of different things, and he's also had me eliminate a lot of different things. Um, at the end of the day, everything will be cleaned up, and you won't need a bunch of fucking paperwork to do certain things.
Right.
You won't need licenses you won't need permits. You won't need shit. Like, as long as you're using the right stuff, then by all means, handle your business. They made all these man-made laws, and it's like, what the fuck? Can't we just live?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I'm like I've said this before, but think back like to growing up, even your family of origin, okay? The struggle that our families went through for food, shelter, and all of that, clothing for the kids and all that. And that was back then when things were less expensive. They weren't as persecuted as people are now.
Right.
But think how every single decision our family members have made, we've made, it all boils down to money. Can we afford it? Can we afford this shirt? Can we afford a vacation? Should I buy the organic food versus the regular food? Every single thing we do boils down to money.
Yeah, unfortunately, yes.
Every
Um,
single thing.
and for a long time, um, I knew that. All right, you know how they say money is the root of all evil, blah blah
Yeah.
blah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's not true. What you do for the money is what makes you evil.
Right.
Even though they created this monetary system, the way they did here on Earth, it doesn't mean it's a bad thing, because we're obviously using it for good too.
Right.
So it's the ones that were hoarding the money and thinking they can control the world with the
Yeah.
money and control the people and suppress people financially is the fucking problem.
Exactly.
So that's why we're here, and that's why we're doing what we're doing.
Yeah.
And you're not going to get no historical assets. You're not going to get no type of wealth unless you're now working with dad, because he's the creator of all of it. Even though man made these or reptilian or man-made these financial institutions and all that, you're making it on Daddy's planet, and he allows you to put it in place just so I can come in and right, just so I can come in and take over, flip the tables, and flip everything right back on them,
Right.
and give it to the people in record timing in ways they never thought possible. Um, and that's just the beginning of it, because you already know I've been showing y'all what's coming. We got food replicators that will replicate anything. We got clothing. We literally have a source gear system where you just stand on it and they put your clothes on you. Those things are coming. That is the one that's in control of everything, and we're doing it when he wants us to do it. So my hands are tied for a lot, for a lot of things. And once we're able to do, well, not once we're able to do, but when he allows us to do certain things, we will drop it like it's hot. Boom, just like we're doing now. We're dropping it like it's hot. All those ships you see in the skies, they belong to us. They belong to me. They belong, a couple of years ago, me and B was popping ships left and right, boom, 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 and getting rid of entire species of you know ETs and demonic forces and blah blah blah. If you listen to the Real Truth Call back with Dr. WC, you can see that we've been doing this since 2016, nonstop, nonstop. So there was a point in time where all these ships would pop up, and I would be like, "Okay, whose is this?" Because I was ready to just explode it. Pow!
Right. Right.
Um, and Dad had said, just know that all the ships belong to me. And I says, okay. So if that means they belong to you, then they belong to me, right? He's like, pretty much.
Wow.
So I said, okay. Um, and he's been showing me since then what's been happening, underground tunnels, the cabal, the cloning, the reptilians, the Dracos, the ETs, the vampires, the bloodsuckers, the experiments, every fucking thing that they've been doing down here. He's shown me all, and he's already had me clean it up, eliminate, and protect the people that shouldn't be in harm's way because of what they were bamboozled to do. So
Right. Right.
this is a real galactic sting operation. And he put me, the commander in chief of it all, here just to prove a point. So people, people in high ranking positions are having a pickle with it. So it don't matter to me. Does not matter.
Wow. Okay. All right. Now, I did get a message about the children in the tunnels, and you had told me that they had been rescued already. And I thought that you had also said that they keep, as fast as you guys close up the tunnels, they dig more and they've been trafficking the kids still. Where are we with that process?
There's only a handful of tunnels that are remaining, and that's only because Dad has um, left some to for evidence.
Mm, okay.
And when I said that as fast as we was taking them out, they were redoing it. It wasn't them building it. You have to understand these beings, these Dracos and reptilians of off planet type beings, they have abilities to reform an entire base right inside of a mountain. Okay, there's the technology that we have that even they have is superior than what you're being shown here.
Right.
So that's literally what they were doing. They were literally teleporting entire facilities into sides of mountains, into grounds, and all that. Um, if you remember back when there were big potholes or big circles in the earth that were, you know, they called them sinkholes, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well that was not sinkholes. That was us poof, taking the entire fucking base out. And then after we after we did it and people saw a little evidence of all this shit, we just filled it back up instantly. So, and then we made people forget about it because we can do that. That Men in Black, that's real. We got that shit too. But we don't need fancy gadgets to do it because we can just go into your mind's eye and change everything. Boom. You won't even fucking know what you did, just like they do. However, since we work for the light, we're not doing it in
Right.
in a we're not doing it in a
A self-serving way.
right. We're doing
Right.
it because Dad wants us to do it, and this is it. This is how we've cleaned up the planet.
Yeah.
It's um it's going to be a lot. It's going to get real interesting because all of this is coming out, and
Yeah.
including the fact of who I am and what I really am. Because they just knew, Sananda Galacta. They just knew Jesus. People don't got the whole story. They don't got the real deal. They don't know shit.
Yeah.
Compared to what Dad is showing us and telling us, these people don't know nothing. Nothing at all.
Well, I think what happens is they're in the material world and they see the physical you, in, the appearance and what you're doing and blah, 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 and they discount it. You know what I mean? Like they don't realize there's more than meets the eye to all of us, you know? And so they're just in the material world for the most part.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at the end of the day, if you question me, just take my method. Um, Learn it, reproduce it. Once you reproduce it, all your answers will be answered. All your questions will be answered. And then you'll be able to do what I taught you because that's how it works. And that's what separates us from all the other groups out there. We actually teaching you guys how to do what I do. We're teaching you guys how to be real Jedi's, not the ones in these secret CIA bases and shit claiming to be Jedi's. Um, the big difference between the real guys and the fake guys is that we can do more because we're doing it with Dad. We don't need fancy machinery to do this, to do that. We can open up portals right here and walk right through them because we're doing it with Dad. Big
Right.
fucking difference. Big fucking difference, right? They've tried to use my technique and they failed every time because my technique is only for those of us of the light, which is why we're destroying them nonstop. You can't be in darkness and do everything. It's not going to happen. The only way to do what I do is come from a loving state, a loving vibration, a high vibration. You're not going to get away with hurting people using my type of method. You can still do, you can still do certain things. I'm not going to say you can't because we know you obviously can because you're attacking everybody right now, right? However, you're attacking the wrong people because once you attack the wrong people, we're plucking you. So carry on.
Yay! All right. All right. So awesome. Will there still be an EBS? That was a big question we got.
Well, there's I'm going to say yes, but it's going to be in various forms.
Yeah.
Um, they don't, Dad don't want to do like massive panics. So he will allow some type of EBS, and it just may not be from the government. Is what it all boils down to, because these guys can't even get their shit together.
True that. I know about a month ago you had shared some video from, I think it was like mostly New York City area that said something like, hey, a nuclear bomb is coming, get out of the city. And there's no way you could outrun a nuclear bomb, even if you got in your car and fled, to get out of the radius of destruction would not even be normal. But they literally had that on the TV in New York about maybe a month or so ago.
Yeah, yeah. Well, they just sent whatever the fuck it was for this area, talking about
Yeah,
vacate
yeah,
some unexplosive or some shit on whatever.
yeah. Yeah, they're working with the military bases and they might blow up the properties in the next 2 days. And I'm like, what? That doesn't make sense.
Well, they're thinking of all types of ways to get ahead of the curve or stop certain things, and it's like
Yeah,
y'all just give up already. What's wrong with y'all?
yeah,
What's wrong with y'all?
yeah.
So, um, they may be an EBS. I would like it myself, right? That way we can get the process going and everybody can be educated on what's happening.
Yeah.
However, we can also broadcast from the ships and take over everybody's cell phones and laptops and everything, which will be probably, well, which will be a whole lot better because it's coming from a source that you can't stop.
And it's trusted information.
Right.
It's not
So,
BS. Yeah.
right.
Okay. Cool. All right. So that was a big question. Everybody wants to know what's going on. So only good things, guys. Only good things.
Yeah.
Wow.
And another thing, they do stupid shit like that so that they can generate the fear energy, right? Um, they know how to harness energies. They know how to conjure up things, and they use people's emotions to do it. So if they say there's a tsunami coming, and you got a million people, more than half are going to be upset, afraid, or worried,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then the other ones are going to be like, fuck it, we're going to die one day anyway, right? Not realizing that you're not going to die.
Well, and think of it this way. We got a million people with negative, fearful vibration creating the tsunami or whatever. But then you get a couple of Jedis with pure loving hearts.
Right.
Um, they're more powerful. Like we don't realize how powerful that higher vibration can be. And that's why doing this method is so important.
That's right.
Putting your energy behind the right thing.
That's right. That is correct.
Yeah.
That is correct. And that's why I say it don't matter how many of them do their little seances, just one of us will just disrupt the whole shit. So that's why you're seeing the changes that you're seeing because we've been working nonstop since 2016. And
Yeah.
those of you guys, those are the Jedi's and crew members that took me serious, know that this is the case, which is why we're still here together doing it because they've successfully used my method.
Right.
And I tell people every day, if my method wasn't real, if my products weren't healing, nobody would buy it. And that's how I've been supporting myself and all of our projects with my products and my abilities.
Right.
So,
Right.
good thing.
Awesome. All right. More questions. You put something out about Obama's birth certificate, which was really fascinating to watch, but will the truth about him and what he's been doing come out? And how's that going to work? Because, you said he was basically a double agent. So I'm just wondering how the public's going to take all that, So what, like, things can always change, but what do you think is going to happen there?
It's going to be revealed that he's set them all up, and including Trump and them. So, so it's there's no way around it. I mean, the best way to understand it is watch the movie Danny Brasco. Okay, when you watch the movie Danny Brasco, he was an FBI agent who went undercover, who killed people, who helped the mob chop people up, all that. Okay, so that's the easiest way to describe what he's been doing. Um, including Michael. So um, Michael's really the bad one, if you ask me.
Of course. Yeah. So he has evidence, like he knows about who's done what and all that. Of course, he's done it, but is he going to be exonerated? Like this was his mission. So he killed people and he's done some horrible things. Like, will he be in a new body going forward, or how's that going to look?
The answer is yes to all the above.
Okay. All
I
right.
mean, you don't send agents in and then arrest them after their job is done, do you?
No, I mean, I assume like the people are going to be all up in arms, but he'll be popped out and put into a new body or something. But I don't know how it's going to work. It'll just be interesting to see, you know.
It's here, so you're going to witness all of it, all of
Yeah,
it, all of it, all of it, all of it. It's
right.
and I get it. People don't understand. People don't believe. People got everybody's got their own opinions, but they just don't know the truth,
Yeah,
and that's why I'm here to show y'all.
yeah. I just realized what month we're in. Like, and I'm laughing because I'm in my own head. I'm doing what I got to do each day, okay? And we're really close to election time here in the US. Like, it's like shockingly close. Like, I didn't realize that yesterday. Is it going to be exposed about Trump being a pedo and a bad guy before the election?
It's already being exposed.
Yeah.
The
But
problem is it's not being exposed on TV.
that's what I'm saying. Like, the masses don't know.
The masses do know, and the sheeple don't know because they're not putting it on TV.
Hmm.
But the masses know.
Okay.
There's so many things. All right, for instance, why would Dad want me to expose Trump if he was a good guy?
There's no reason.
Right. So what I'm seeing is what I've always been seeing. He made a deal to keep his his
Reputation.
yeah, that and his family intact. Um, those of them that are left anyway, because they did the same thing Johnny Boy says, killed
Yeah.
them, replaced them.
Yeah.
Um, at the end of the day, there is a commander. There's a couple of commanders underneath me, and they're following my orders. So um, they Trump and them don't mean nothing. They're just going to fade away anyway, and they will do exactly what we tell them to do.
Looking forward to that.
It's already happening. They're just not admitting it.
Okay. Yeah. You don't see that in like, I'm not like watching TV, but in the videos, you don't see any of that even. Like it's all either pro or against.
But
Yeah.
behind the scenes, they are working for Daddy, meaning me too. So um, some of them are doing it without even knowing they're doing it, which is cool because it's all going to circle back to me, and
Yeah.
um, I'll be here in Destin commanding as I do.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So what is the deal on Elon Musk? I just saw him, something about him buying Telegram, and I'm like, ugh, but will he also be exposed, or is he being exposed? Because I saw some other video this morning on him.
Yeah. So they're all being exposed, and they're actually purchased everything just to give it up. So
Okay. Awesome.
yeah.
Good. All right. I got asked if you would list the good med beds that people could use in the future.
Not yet because they're not all out yet.
Yeah.
Once they reveal themselves, we'll tell you whether they're good or not.
Super cool.
There will be some that will be straight up no, don't even fucking go near it.
Yeah.
And there will be some that we will, um, we will help advertise because the legitimacy of it, and because Dad tells us to.
Okay.
And only because Dad tells us to. Because if you ask me, I wouldn't advertise none of their shit.
Right.
Because why would I do why my own thinking, why would I advertise your shit when I got chambers right here?
Yeah. Well, and the difference between the chambers and the med beds it's so prominent. Why would somebody settle for a med bed? I mean, they might be desperate or uninformed, I guess, but when you
Right.
can have the chambers will be free to all.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
right. So we can't go against people's free will.
Yeah.
And again, if Dad says to go ahead and fix the chamber or fix the med beds, and you know um, send people here, send people there, then I'll do it.
Yeah.
Um, I'm definitely not going to send people to a med bed that we know is going to hurt you.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean? So that being said, everybody that breaks out with their new technology and their new gadgets, they have a problem, which is me. So if your shit don't work, you ain't doing. You'll get away with doing some of it, as far as getting people to use it, and then
Yeah.
they getting sick, blah blah blah, and then they have no choice but to come and get into the chamber.
Right.
So I won't be advertising or helping everybody, because we already know there's a lot of dark. Um, I can't
Agendas.
I can't really say dark agendas. Some of the people don't even realize what they're doing.
Yeah.
So unless we are involved and we fix it and we look at it, then we'll move forward, or we'll allow them to move forward. At the end of the day, if Dad don't want it out, it's not going nowhere.
Okay.
We'll just evaporate the whole facility.
Yeah. I get that question so much about where to get the med beds, how do I get on the list and all that. And then I try to educate them about the difference between med beds and the crystalline chambers, you know. So when they're out and ready, you'll be notified, and everyone will have their chance. That's all and there's no forcing anyone. If you don't want to go, if you don't trust it, don't do it. But you're going to see all of the other people and their great results, and then you'll most likely be coming around, is my guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the good news about it all is we're not going nowhere for a very long time. So,
Yeah.
100 years from now, if you're all wrinkly and you didn't want to go into the chamber, you can still go into the chamber.
That's right. Us 30-year-olds will help you in.
Right, 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 right.
Yeah, yeah. All right.
Right.
Question, what are the laws of God? Are there laws, or are there just, things the way we should be living?
Yeah, it's do no harm, and love each other. That's literally it.
Right.
It's not that hard. Um, the Ten Commandments were pretty much it close or whatever. Don't kill, don't steal. Um,
Keep your mitts off your neighbor's stuff.
yeah, exactly. So don't steal.
Basic stuff. It's
Yeah,
basic.
just don't do things that are ill will, or you know what I mean. So
Harmful.
yeah,
Yeah.
harmful.
Yeah.
Um, there's a lot of things that you can do that were taught to you to be sinful or whatnot. But as long as you're not hurting anybody while you're doing what you're doing, there's literally no issues.
Okay.
Literally. You have the free will to do anything you want, as long as people are in agreement. Once you violate someone's free will, then that's where the problem is.
Yeah. Yeah.
So no hitting people, no beating people, no molesting children, no none of that shit. Um, you know, um, it's simple. Just do good, help each other,
Yeah.
service to each other.
Yeah.
Bordering, trading, stuff like that. There's no need to rob, steal, and kill for material shit. Like that's the way of the Dracos. That's what they do.
Right,
Dog eat dog mentality, right?
right.
So
Hoarding.
basically, right. So basically, um, love thy neighbor and thou shalt not kill, and just be all around good person. We're moving into a state of consciousness where it's simple, and you're gonna know not to do shit because dad's gonna tell you, hey, don't do that. Why are you doing that? Go do this. Right? So um it's not that hard. It's super simple, just like my products, simple. And that's how we're changing the world by being um kind, compassionate, loving beings. Because I am that way too. I'm in battle mode because of the things that we have to deal with, right?
Right, right,
However, I'm made to do that as well.
right.
So I don't have a problem with it either. I understand that Dad made y'all, God made y'all. I understand that your time is up. I understand that you have choices to make at this time in space, right? And he made me to take you out because you didn't follow his laws, if you would. You've been running around raping and pillaging people for eons, and the bucks stops here. So
Right, right. Okay. Don't you think a child is born already inherently knowing all of this, but it's their environment, their upbringing, their education, which causes them to do things that is against their nature.
right,
Like, I don't think most kids see, they're not racist, that they're loving, they're open, they would never hurt someone else purposely, and I think that's a taught behavior mostly, don't you?
that's exactly what it is. Everybody knows that shit.
Yeah. Well,
Everybody but the people teaching them shit.
yeah, yeah. So we're gonna go back to a loving, more simple society, I think. Be good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I mean, look at you. You seen how Sophie operates?
totally. Yeah.
She's a whole nother level.
Yeah,
And you see how JJ operates too. He's a whole nother level too. He sleeps a lot, but when I was young, I used to sleep a lot too. And now I realize it's because I was on missions nonstop. So I don't bother him because I know that's what it is.
awesome. All right.
Um, they're the children are so connected to dad when they first come in, and the people, their parents or the people with the school systems and all that, they fuck them all up,
Yeah,
messed
yeah.
them all up, all of them.
Total programming.
Um,
Mhm.
and I've seen it. We've seen it here when you have a child that's ready to come get a gift bag with toys and stuff in it, and then the parent don't want you to have it. Okay, so it all that parent's parent taught them that shit,
Yeah, yeah,
or somebody within that his life taught him that. So that being said, all of the new children are being are being born without all of the vaccine shit, which is why it's all happening. It's all being exposed to save people from it all. No vaccines. You don't need vaccines. You don't need to vaccinate your children at all. None. Not one. None. And then before you leave the hospital, you got 10. So that literally stops the attempt to stop what the child will be doing, right? They gave me a bunch of shots when I was a kid, nonstop, just like everybody else. Did it affect me? No, because dad made me immune to everything. So that's the same thing with my children and the future children that are born after 2000, 2007, 2017. all of the children since then are super and heightened beings, and even if you do vaccinate them, it won't affect them the way that they thought it would. Um, and it's all about poisoning and having us at a certain state so that they can consume us. It's like when you saute a chicken. I mean, when you put your ingredients and stuff and inject your chicken with certain things so that you can cook it the next day and have all these flavors. That's what they've been doing to us, literally. They eat, they eat the glands, the cancer cells. They eat all that shit. They love that shit. Nasty ass shit. That's what they feed off of. So it's not really about money. It's about consuming us.
And they want that lower vibration and fear energy because
They
that's
they
like
eat
extra
it.
flavor or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
Yeah.
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 It's literally like CBD. You put CBD in your food. Well, if you put adrenochrome in their shit and blah blah blah, yeah, nasty shit. Anyway, yeah, the children are super strong. They're coming in super strong, and they're already activated. And despite what their parents may or may not teach them, they will be um, connected to dad, and they'll teach their parents certain things. So that's what's happening.
Awesome. Awesome news.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. What's going to happen with religious organizations soon? Like, I know, like you said, people will be running to the churches. They're probably not going to get their answers there, is my guess. But what will happen to the religious cults?
Well, a lot of them will fade away because we will all come together, and the ones that resist will be taken out by force if we have to, and then the structures will be used for what it was. Um, I can't say for what it was made for because they obviously made it,
Right.
but some of the structures I'm gonna literally level. We don't need them no more. So depending on, like for instance, Rome, we're going to level the whole shit.
Right.
Italy, the Vatican,
Yeah.
all that is being leveled,
Okay.
all of it.
Yeah.
Remember where you heard it first, by the way. So
Looking forward to it. Yeah. And
yeah,
all the stuff in the catacombs, like all the artifacts have been taken away already down there.
yeah. Well, we I was about to say we stole us. We took a lot of stuff and put it on ships already.
Yeah. Okay. Super cool.
And what the reason why we have all the assets is because that's literally what we've done. We've taken the assets and we've put them in certain places, and now it's trickling back down to us. So Dad's been involved in all this stuff for years as well. I mean, they've been doing things for thousands of years, but so have we.
Yeah. Okay. I know it's a long game here, and we're almost at the end.
No, we are at the end.
We're at the end.
Yeah,
Check. All right.
we're at the end.
All right.
This is it. After this is um, beautiful things happening everywhere. Beautiful things happening everywhere, and you know, um, the rest of the ones that are not so evil will snap out of their shit and get with the program.
Awesome.
And that goes for all of the churches that are, still sending money to Rome and places like that.
Yeah. Well, there are some, we'll call them local churches, local pastors or whatever. They do have their hearts in the right places. They have the right intent and all that do no harm. But again, I'm talking more the organized ones that are there for a different purpose.
Mm-hmm.
That pretend, to be of the light or whatever. Of course, the dark cults will all be gone or are already gone.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yay. All right. Seeing occasional chemtrails around the world. So that's like kind of the dregs of the chemtrail rain, I hope. And then yesterday you shared a helicopter dumping stuff in the water. All right. So again, trying to poison the people and the environment and all that. what will happen with that, or is that being taken care of?
It's all being taken care of, and we're enforcing it being cleaned up.
Awesome.
Remember. We have to expose everything that they've been doing before
Yeah,
we can totally eliminate it. So
yeah,
that's why you're seeing all these different videos. That's why you're seeing all the different creatures, um, all the different disasters and all that, because they've been using weaponry, geo-engineering human species and
yeah.
or different type of species. So we have to show the world what they've been doing in order for us to change it.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, and the faster and faster we raise the consciousness and show people that these things are real and have been happening, the faster we can get the results that we want, which is total change. Total change. And that's literally what we're doing.
right. That's why sharing, like, there's so many great memes, the videos that you put out, if we all share, that just helps to build awareness of what's going on out there, the truth, right?
Yep.
People don't often get to see these videos. So what I love about your channel is you've got every kind of topic in one spot. And
Mm-hmm.
it's the truth of what's going on, that we are not, it would take us a lot longer to research than, just going to your channel and looking at what you've posted. So
Yeah.
thank,
Yeah. And they knew it too.
yeah.
They know exactly what you said, which is why they shut down my King John Smarty channel,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
So they shut down that channel, and I had to make the King Sananda Galactic channel, which is cool because that's my real name anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And they don't like the fact that I'm doing what I'm doing. They don't like the fact that they can only do that, nothing else. Um, However, it don't matter because the right people, like we said yesterday, are finding out, are learning, are coming to the table. People all around the country, all around the world, are finding out about me, and Daddy's bringing them to me because they have a new role to play. Whether they accept it or believe it right away, it's irrelevant because if I tell you this is your role, this is your role, and that's that.
Right. Right.
You can have that. You can go through that Jonah and the whale effect if you want to, or you can just listen to what I'm telling you.
Okay. Well, I think most of us on this channel are listening to what you're saying. I mean, like we might kick a little bit here and there, but we're trying to listen, right? So
I kick myself too. I'm
yeah.
ready. I'm ready to get this shit over with.
Once in a while I grumble a little bit, but I'm always, it might take me an hour or two to get over it, but I'm back, right?
Right,
So
right.
it's cool. Yeah. Um, is Jesus associated with Melchizedek? All right. Is usually the same as Melchizedek. And evidently there's a dark um, wing of the Masons that call themselves Melchizedeks. So any info on that?
No, and that's one of the things that I talked about yesterday, or opened up this discussion, because everybody's been lied to.
Yeah.
We am I affiliated with any other group right now?
No.
That's your answer.
Okay. All right. Just asking the question for somebody
No,
though.
no. I
Yeah.
get it.
Yeah.
That's their answer,
Yeah.
right? It's me, B, Dad, and the Jedi's, the crew members, all you guys,
Right.
right? We're just loving people who want to do the right thing, right?
Right.
Okay, that's your answer.
All right. Bing. All right. Is the majority of those in our district human?
The answer would be yes to that. Um, um, I would say yes, but there's so many different other species and races on Earth that we haven't even um, we haven't even scratched the surface of it because you guys are, or not you guys, but people don't even realize that the Earth is 100 times bigger than what it is. So there's different beings and different races everywhere, and we're not all human. We're we're parts of this and parts of that. That's why you got Rh negative bloodlines, and you got Orientals and Black people, and we're all different. However, we have the same. We're humanoid with hands and feet and mouths and talks. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
so, but we're all different. We're all different.
All right. So we're going to say yes to majority is human. And as time goes on, we're going to see more and more, well, we'll call them aliens, but non-humans, if you will, on the planet. We'll be able to see them more easily than we are now.
Yeah, it's already happening.
Yeah.
It's been happening, which is why you got that demon syndrome shit going on.
Yeah. 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 That's,
I just posted the video last night with the kid grabbing the young lady and his
yeah.
face changed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's the demon part in them.
Yeah.
Like people don't realize that um, when you're upset and when you get into a state of anger and just super upset, that's because something came in on you, or you are part of that genetic, um, that those beings, and people are not even familiar or not. They're what I'm trying to say is people don't even know what they are, which is why you have certain people out here that are literally vampires and their teeth come out and all that type of shit, and they're still walking around in the daytime. They just don't know what they are. We call them vampires, we call them Dracos, we call them shapeshifters, we call them this and we call them that. However, there's a specific name for you that Dad knows because he's the one that made you. So all of that's coming out too. It's we got so much shit that so much disclosures. It's exciting.
Yeah. It seems like we're going to be pretty busy.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. So
Yeah.
he's always told us that the humanoids would come out first, um, would come out first for like a disclosure and off planet humans and blah blah blah, or should I say humanoid beings like myself. So um, we're definitely not human. Um, we are we're we're a special type of ET, if you would. We have all of the abilities to shapeshift and teleport and all that stuff, which is what makes us super beings or superior. Um, all this is coming out as well. We can do things like I can do things that are totally not normal, and I can evaporate people, places, and things um, at will. So um, yeah, I'm definitely not what you would call a human.
Yeah. Well, what we're seeing right now is the human part, right? And then when you go through the chambers, we're going to see the galactic part.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Well, I can't even say yes to that because I'm not. There's nothing human about me. Are you ET? No. What are you then? I'm special.
That's funny.
Yeah, I used to say, so am I human? He's like, no. I said, what am I then? You're special. Okay.
So I think we were talking, it might have even been yesterday. You are the only one of your kind,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So, yeah. Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's because Dad made me with the abilities to do everything he wants me to do. So that's why I'm the only one of my kind. Um, I'm literally Dad in the flesh, and that's another hard pill to swallow for some. But if you think about your creator and how he can do anything he wants to,
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes we forget about that. Like we're like, well, that can't happen that way, blah, blah, blah. Who's to say anything can happen any way it does? And I think being, again, human, we always want things to go the logical way, the way we've been taught step by step. This happens and this happens. I know that's my problem. I always think it's supposed to happen a certain way. It never happens that way. It always happens the way it does.
right,
Yeah. Yeah.
right, right.
Yeah. Will we know our planet of origin sometime in the future?
Yes, yes, yes. Majority of the humans came from Uranus. Uranus. That's the oldest, the oldest humanoid planet,
Yeah.
um, and that's 2 billion years old. Um, it's a little, yes, it's like 200 billion or 2 billion years old, something like that. That's the oldest one still existing. I mean,
Wow.
but there's older, far older civilizations that still exist. However, they're not humanoid. They're more of a crystalline base, and that's where we of energy type base. So that's where we came from, literally. You seen that movie Immortals,
Yeah.
and you seen how they were the Zeus and them were up there floating and watching everything happen, and he told everybody, "Don't go down there. Don't go down there. You let them fight it out, or you let them do this, and you let them do that." And then one of the immortals said, "Fuck it," and went down in there and just
Yeah.
started hammering away at the dark ones.
Right.
Well, that's what we did. However, we did it with approval this time. so so we down here wrecking shop. We're literally annihilating the dark ones. There's no competition
Awesome.
whatsoever, no competition. So yeah, they hit you guys and they beat you guys and they make you guys feel like shit and you feel like you want to quit and blah blah blah. And then we come up and clean you guys up, eliminate them, and then we're right back at it. Okay, so that's literally what we're doing.
Yeah.
Literally.
Okay. Would you say a lot of the dark ones are uh churning now at this time? Like, let's say there's guys in the CIA or even, whatever, reptilians. Are they turning to the light like in droves?
Yes, they are.
Okay. So they see what's bless you, bless you. So they see what's happening to the people they work with or work for, and they're like, not for me. And then they turn to the light.
Yeah, that's pretty much what's happening.
Okay, cool. All right. In the future, will there be more Jedis centrally located to you in Destin, or are they going to be spread around the Earth more or throughout the galaxy universe?
Yeah, we'll be here. We'll be everywhere.
Mm.
And the ones because you have to understand, I have multiple crews, multiple armies, multiple civilizations,
Yeah,
multiple kingdoms, right?
yeah, yeah,
And that's the reason why they sent me here because I'm already in control of multiple kingdoms.
yeah.
I'm the king of multiple realms, if you would.
Okay.
Um, and that's another hard pill for people to swallow. But at the end of the day, we're all going to come together. All the ships that you see in the skies right now are literally ours. We have medical supply. We have chambers. We have medical wands. We have all types of technology that we're getting ready to release to the planet because those would be rulers of
Yeah.
Earth,
Yeah.
didn't want to do what Dad told him to do when he told him to do it. So I'm literally banking on the great intimidation, as they say it.
Yeah. Okay. Excellent. Excellent.
Mhm.
Excellent.
And then you'll be able to meet the other crew members that were always here with you guys who you didn't know. So once you see me on stage and then you see all these people teleport in, you're gonna know that we for real. Well, you already know.
Super exciting time. Super exciting. Yeah.
It is.
Now, do you have time for more questions?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, okay. I wasn't sure if you had to roll. Um, so basically, once all this happens and like we've hit the chambers, we have our consciousness. Will some of us be going out into the other parts of the galaxy and other planets, or will most of us stay here on Earth for a while and then trickle out in the future from there?
The answer is yes, because you have the options to do whatever you want. You'll have the options to do
Yeah.
whatever you want. So, after this is all said and done, I'll be here. Hey, I'll be here, and um, I'll be elsewhere, everywhere else.
Yeah, yeah.
So that being said, again, I have multiple kingdoms, right? So I'm not going to be here all the time. I have to go other places as well. And those of you guys on the team will be traveling with me to these other places, and I'll show you guys around.
Awesome. I volunteer for the vacation planet.
well,
Okay, cool.
well,
Um,
this is going to be a vacation planet. People are going to love to come here,
awesome. Awesome.
just like we love to go to different places around the world. Blah blah blah. People are going to love to come here as well.
Awesome. Awesome.
Hmm.
All right, we had a question. What is the difference between a Jedi that, does your method and follows you, and another group that they may or may not be doing good things, like say Palladians or Arcturians that, they say we get these channel messages and they're like, we're here to help humanity, beloveds, right? What is the difference between us and them?
Well, we're performing.
All right. All right.
Yeah,
Good.
and I mean, we can do things they can't, and you guys are going to be witnesses to it. If you haven't already been
Yeah.
witnesses to it.
Yeah.
So, um, the people, the beings here on Earth are superior in many ways. However, you haven't been taught that because you've been programmed to worry about your fucking bills, worry about your taxes, worry about all of the parking tickets you have to pay, worry about who's winning the basketball game. It's nothing but distractions. So when your asses finally wake the fuck up, then you'll be able to hang out with the big dogs.
All right. All right. And so we'll eventually know our, genetic heritage as time goes on, the consciousness expands. People are just curious about where they come from.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. So um that's easy. You all come from daddy. Period. And that's you hear that a lot within the different communities. Yeah, but where did I come from? I originated over here. I originated over there.
Yeah.
I'm from Sirius B. I'm from Lyran. I was in Lemuria. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, and
Yeah.
you came from dad, dumbass.
I've had so many people through the years that I say, I'm Palladian, and I look at them and like you said, because they don't realize it's a big area, and what does that even mean? Just because they're from another planet, that's something to, they're excited about it, I guess, but they just don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then you're listening to people who, told you you're from this place, so now you're from this place.
Yeah.
When all you have to do is just talk to dad, and dad will tell you, this is exactly what dad would tell you. You were in multiple places.
Yeah.
So, depending on how old your essence is, your soul, your energy, right? You were all the beings at one point in time because your consciousness transfers from body to lifestyle, lifetime, blah, 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 dimension, blah, 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 blah. So to claim just one origin is stupid.
And because we're going through all of these other, I don't know what you would call them.
Learning experiences.
Yeah, that's what it's for, learning, right?
Right.
So we can experience things from different perspectives.
Right.
And that allows us to be more well-rounded and more valuable, I would think.
That's true.
Right. Okay.
Which is why at this point in time, the buck stops here because all of these individuals that are being eliminated or have been eliminated and will be eliminated came up to their last learning experience where you didn't learn and now you're getting sent off to Pebble Valley or beyond. It's over for you forever. Ever. There's no coming back. So
Yeah. Not good.
not my problem either.
Yep. A couple quick questions. Are the satellites inside the energetic dome?
Yes.
All right. I'm laughing because we've talked about this numerous times and we can't break through the energetic dome at this point. So even though we say we're shooting rockets and other shit up there, we can't get through there, even if we wanted to.
Right. And the satellites are within the energetic dome, including planes. You don't go around like this. You can literally go from A to B in a straight line, and they make you believe that you have to go 24 hours this way to then do a fucking U-turn and go that way when you could have just went straight across because we're on a playing field like this, like so, right? And all you have to do is go to A to B, but they have you bamboozled to make you believe you're going all around the earth when you could have just went in a straight fucking line.
Yeah. It is crazy, isn't it? I think the transportation systems you've talked about for the future are going to be so helpful to people.
They are.
Yep. How will passports be affected by the chambers? Like, how we have our photo on our license or our passport now. How's that going to change?
They change with you.
Boom. I like that idea. All right.
Yeah, I've already asked all of these questions. That's why I know.
Yeah. How fast will the medical industry change again once I don't know if there's a delineation line, but we're on the other side of this. Will it change like all of a sudden, or it will be gradual changes?
It's the changes are already happening. So it's gradual and in some cases instant.
Okay.
For instance, once we get things rolling, we'll be making facilities that will have everything you need where hospitals become obsolete.
Yeah.
And then the hospitals that are hospitals will end up taking them over and repurposing it, re-educating people, firing some, and eliminating some, and doing what they were meant to do: help and heal, heal and help.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Excellent news. Excellent news. And so there's going to be a lot of work for all of us to participate in,
nonstop.
So we'll all be able to focus on what our passion is to help others, whether it be through animals, plants, people, whatever.
Yeah,
Right,
exactly what you were made to do.
right,
That's
right.
why we always ask people, what do you love?
Yeah.
What do you love to do? Because 9 times out of 10, or should I say 10 times out of 10, you were made to do that because you love it.
Yeah. And we don't always know that because our society does not teach that. What we're good at is what we should be doing.
Right,
What comes easy to us and what we want to focus on, that's what we should be doing.
right.
But they make us struggle to learn all this other stuff that we're never going to use, you know?
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Now you got all these fancy plaques on the wall with no fucking jobs.
That's exactly right. And people are not happy a lot of times with the job that they've chosen or the field that they've chosen. Like they spend all this money on the degree, they don't like it, and they're kind of stuck, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. You spent all the money to get
Yeah,
your papers,
yeah,
and then you finally get to the job and you find out that the job wasn't what you thought it was, and now you're having to follow orders
yep,
because if you don't, you won't even gonna work.
yep. Yep. And then you get all this debt too, of course, which is really part of, I think that's the whole goal of it. Besides
Which
further indoctrination, you know?
right, which keeps you in that same cycle of bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah. Excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like we're at a really good spot here today to wrap up. I mean, I have more questions, but it feels like a good time to wrap up.
All right.
Um,
Well, yeah. Let's wrap it up. Expect more and more visible sightings of ships. Expect some landing footages. Um, expect more of the military and different agencies coming forward about all of the what they know.
yeah.
Expect the RV. Um, expect full disclosure across the board on the pedophile, the trafficking, the adrenochrome. They're doing everything they can to um, not it not coming out.
Right.
However, we all know who's behind the full disclosure, so expect it all because it's happening and it's ramping up where it's literally a waterfall of information. Remember a month ago, Dad told us that this was happening.
Yeah.
A month, 2 months ago, whatever the case was. But he said all of it's coming out.
Yeah.
And then we got the 12-12 coming up where we are to just relax and do nothing. So he's doing things that he's not telling me about because, I got a big ass mouth. I'll tell you about it. So it's definitely exciting and I'm loving every minute of it.
Excellent. Well, you have done so much to help us understand. I thank you for that. And having these videos and, being able to ask these questions is valuable. Like, I know it's like for us, it's very exciting for you. It might be kindergarten level, but we need to understand to be more effective. So thank you.
Yeah, well, it's my job, and Dad made me this way to do what he does, and you have a super powered, benevolent king on your side, and we love everybody. I love everybody. I always say, don't give me a reason not to trust you or not to show
Right.
love to you because I can do that too. I can be an asshole, real asshole, right? So I'd rather not, right?
Yeah.
I'd rather be myself, which
Yeah.
is, humble, laughing, giggling, blah, blah, blah. But if you put me in a position where I gotta be an asshole to you, I'm gonna be an asshole to you and you're not gonna like it. Then you're gonna say, well, he's an asshole and he can't be who he says he is. He's just such an asshole. Well, what the fuck did you do to make me an asshole?
Oh my God.
Did you think about that part, you dumb fuck? Huh?
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I'm just being myself, I'm just being what Dad made me, a
Yeah.
humble servant to Dad and to everybody, to all of y'all. So it's literally Dad's way or the highway, and I'm not going to not do what he tells me to do because of someone's opinions or thoughts. And that's what makes me more powerful because I'm doing everything Dad wants me to do, including warning everybody, do the right thing or he's going to let me go on you, right? I've gave you fair warnings. All the ships you see in the skies, they belong to me. All the different crews out here running around assassinating and killing, and I can't say killing, but assassinating all the dark ones and evaporating and people, places, and things disappearing. It's all me,
Yeah.
right? Because I'm doing it because that's what Dad wants. So that being said, join us. Let's change the world together or not.
Right.
All right, we out of here.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate all your time.
Thank you. Thank you. Love you. Love all you guys. Let's get this shit cranked up.